Unfortunately, I never got to meet Laura San Giacomo. The fact that I work primarily out of Los Angeles and visit the set sporadically. But I've been a fan for a long time, so it was fun to get to have her in the show. This scene was cut only for time, no other reason.
Hey.
Hey. I hope this wasn't too last minute. My conference ended early, and I really needed a drink.
I'm glad you called. How was it?
Are you asking me that seriously?
No. Okay. Let me start again. What are we drinking?
It's funny, if you look at this scene here, this is what our Neptune backdrop out of the Neptune Grand Hotel looks like before it's been color timed, which means it always, until we see it color timed, it always looks a bit false to me. We've had our visual effects people do things like actually have lights on top of those buildings out there that we drop in post to give it a little vibrancy, and certainly we'll blow a fan through there to really indicate that we're outdoors, and then add the sounds of traffic. And generally by the time it gets on air, I believe this is a hotel balcony. But here, when you see it before it's color timed and mixed and all of that, it will very much feel like a television set. This is another example of a scene that was cut merely for time. Logan calls Keith to inquire about Veronica's whereabouts, which eventually sends Logan to Veronica's rescue.
It's Veronica's cell. Leave him.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Mars.
Logan, everything okay?
Yeah, I'm looking for Veronica. I think she's trying to hide from me, actually.
Yeah. She's been keeping me out of the loop, too. Might try Wallace's. She said she was staying with him.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
This is a scene that I really liked and wish we hadn't had to cut, and I'm sure it was just for time. And in fact, it was the first scene of, I believe, a 3 or 4 scene story in which we found out that the Dean's murder really did closely resemble the Veronica's perfect murder paper. Veronica tracks down the Dean's old computer and finds out what he was looking at just prior to his death. Interestingly, we could not have put this, we could not have kept this and retained the storyline we eventually did tell, in which we found the computer and it had other stuff on it. But this was an early track that we were going down. I do really like this scene between Veronica and Weevil, largely for his Fonzie line about hitting the top of a jukebox and having Rock Around the Clock play, or something to that effect.
You tried just smacking it?
Yeah. And it just started playing Rock Around the Clock. What brings you by?
Trying to find the Dean's old computer. Do you know what they do with the used computers?
It's funny. You're the second Mars this week to sniff around the Dean.
Well, if it's out there, could you try and track it down? I'd be
Eternally grateful. Yeah, I know. Last time you said it, you were only grateful for 9 days.
Okay, what do we want? We want the browser history from the day the Dean died. Is there any way we can...
Please. They usually do a half-assed job wiping the cache on these.
Voila.
Oh, what are you looking for anyway?
Poisonsite.com, farminfoonline.com, overdoseweb.com. He left a detailed browser history of suicide-themed websites. Drug doses, methods, success rates.
Like a guy with suicidal thoughts.
Or like someone trying to make it look like a guy was having suicidal thoughts.
Monica, don't get caring.
I'm not. I'm just saying it is right out of my perfect murder paper. And I don't think the Dean... He wasn't that kind of guy.
This paper was for Dr. Landry, your criminology professor.
This was the morning after scene for Logan after he fooled around with that skanky girl at the beach. This was supposed to be entirely a scene about a boy and his self-loathing, spending some quality time together in a car, which was, executed beautifully. I love this shot. And you also found out in this moment that she also stole the cash out of his wallet. It would have been nice to be able to include, but had to be cut for time. Yeah, I sort of like the line. That's an example of liking the line on the page and not liking it in the show.
I saw a suspicious-looking squirrel yesterday, if that helps.